This video is going to present you with a live coding solution of exercise A02. So we are going to resume where we left out, since exercise A02 is meant to actually complete the previous exercise by adding some features. So like every time you do a programming exercise, you need pretty much to translate this text statement, English statement, into a computer program. So let's have a look at what is required of us to do. Insert an assignment statement. So we're talking about modifying exercise A01. Insert an assignment statement before the above mentioned output statement in order to assign the value Nelson to a variable named name. So we're going to create on the fly our first variable. In the lecture, we have been discussing at length about variable. We have been mentioning that programming language require you to declare variable. Well, here's one of the first things I want to teach you about Raptor, something that is specific to Raptor and is going to be different in Java. Well, with Raptor, you don't need to declare variable. Actually, Raptor is flexible enough that it's going to pretty much declare the variable for you the first time you use it. So you start by saying, I want to assign the value 20 to variable A, and automatically Raptor will understand that you are talking about declaring on the fly, pretty much, a variable A, which is meant to contain an integer. And this is how it works. So different language do this kind of stuff differently. Of course, Java, for example, will require us absolutely to declare variable before we start to use them. So let's go back to our exercise. We're talking about here assigning the value literal string Nelson to a variable named name. So let's figure out how we can do that, and we are going to modify the code of our previous exercise. So let's go back to our previous exercise. Here we go. We need to add an assignment statement. So we take the assignment box, we drag it right before our display statement, double click on it. This is a window which opens, and we're going to set the variable name to the value Nelson. We click on done. You have here a little reminder of the syntax, okay, of this assignment operator in Raptor. We click on done. There we go. You see the sign here that I commented on the lecture, which means assignment. So what we wrote here in a very visual way is variable name is assigned the value string literal Nelson. Let's go back to our exercise. We insert this before our display statement. Now we want to use a variable name to display A02 string literal. Notice the space after the 2 and before the closing double quote symbol, followed by the string contained in the variable name. To do so, we'll have to modify the current output statement so that it displays A02 instead of hello world. Modify it so that it doesn't go to a new line at the end of its string. There's a checkbox apparently that we can use there, and add another output statement which displays only the content of the variable name. Let's go back to the code. This exercise pretty much tells you everything you need to do. You just need to translate, okay? So let's change our display statement. Here's the window that pops up. Instead of displaying hello world, we are going to display hello to space. And we're going to click done. Right before I click done, I was about to forget. You see here the end current line checkbox. This is a checkbox that is referred to in the exercise. If I click on here, then suddenly A02 is going to be displayed, but instead of preparing myself to display right at the next line, whatever comes next, I will not end the current line. So whatever comes next, whatever output statement comes next, is going to write right after the A02. We'll experience with that to give you a feeling of exactly what we mean in practice. Click on done. So we have now name is assigned Nelson value, put A02 on the screen. Let me take another output statement, put it right here after the first one, and this time I'm going to say I want to display what? Output expression. Okay, so I don't want to output just text now. I'm going to select output expression, and my expression could be a math expression, but in this case it's going to be just my variable name. I want to output an expression which is variable name. Name is going to be evaluated into its content. What is inside of the variable name? Well, inside of the variable name I have the string Nelson. There you go. This is what's going to be displayed on the screen. I want to go to the next line once I'm done. I hit done and I leave the checkbox. I have now a little program that I'm going to test. I click on the play button. Name is assigned Nelson. You can see here that I have a variable name containing Nelson. Then we did put A02. A02 appears here on the screen. You notice that since I didn't check the end line checkbox, the next put statement is displaying right after it, Nelson. Let me go back to the code, double click here. What if I would have checked this end current line checkbox here in this put A02 statement? I run my code again, start, create a variable on the fly, display something, end. A02, go to the next line, and then the next put statement display Nelson and goes to the next line. So that's the difference that this little checkbox here does on the way that your output is appearing. Okay, so I'm going to remove it. Another detail while we're at it. Why did I use or didn't I use the double quote? Well, when I want to display simply text, I can just leave the text as it is. I can also choose to put double quotes around the text I want to display and select output expression. What is the difference? When you are in output text mode, whatever you type in this box is going to go on the screen. When you are on output expression, what is expected here is an expression. For example, an arithmetic expression, or maybe a string literal, such as this one. So click Done. Let's run our program to make sure we are still doing the same job. Assign Nelson, put A02, put name. Here's the final result. A02 Nelson. Exactly the same as we had the first time around. If I go back here to this box, I'm going to make an error on purpose. I'm going to say I want to output text, but instead of just typing the text I want to output, I'm going to act like if I was writing an expression here, the string literal value A02 with double quotes around it. So this is inappropriate. If I click on Done and I run my code once again, here's what's going to happen. The final result is, because I didn't say that double quote A02 double quote was actually an expression to be displayed, Raptor didn't try to evaluate it. Therefore, everything I typed, including the characters double quote, was just displayed on the screen. This is not the behavior that I want. So to fix that, and you can see it appearing also here, right? There are like 3 double quotes in a row. There is a problem there. So I can go back to this box and choose. If I want the double quote to be there, I will just simply use output expression and keep the double quote. If I want just to display every single character I typed in this box, I will select output text. And we are pretty much done with this particular exercise.